Hello everyone, today we're going to take a look at a new ESC firmware. We're not going to walk all the way through it, and before we even get to that point, I do want to kind of put the warning out is that bad things can happen when flashing. Anything goes wrong. So if you only have one working quad, let's not fuss with that one. Let's leave that one working and let's get a secondary quad. If you're new to this stuff, be cautious. I'm always trying to advocate that you continue to be able to fly rather than working on making something fly again. And so sometimes I feel like I might be coming off a little strong or talking down to someone. That's not my intent at all. I would just rather you stay flying rather than tinkering. But I do understand that tinkering is a big part of this hobby. So I respect your desire to tinkle. But as far as what we're looking at today is Blue Jay. You may have heard of it. You may not. It's a relatively young project. I became aware of this by Kevin Glenn Plaisir, Mr. Emu, I think. Emu. That's one. He posted, I think, on one of the Facebook groups. So I went over and watched it. Now, I'm not going to tell you this is going to take care of any problems or it's some sort of magic sauce. It's another ESC firmware like Jazz Maverick, like JESC. It has a lot of the features, but what drew my attention to it when, so I'll have a link down in the video description to go to Quick Flash, which is Kevin's YouTube channel, and he's going to walk you through everything. We're going to take a look at the interface, but if you want to get into that developer's mind sort of stuff, he's got a detailed video. We're just going to take a look at the interface and we'll listen to the tones here. But one of the things that caught my ear, even though it's not listed on the GitHub site, was this seems to be something they're working on, kind of targeting micros. And of course, I'm very biased to micros, so I bring that to you. First, let's take a look or a listen. Let me grab a battery here. I think this is the louder of my two, and we'll listen to it. You can't see it, but I've got a little quad here with Blue Jay on it. Of course, Blue Jay. Blue. It's got to be awesome, right? All right, here we go. So it's got pretty cool tones. There's hints that they might be bringing other tones. So maybe you can select a different layer of tones from the configurator and it'll put them right in there. You know, music or doing different tones used to be a 32-bit thing, but now we're seeing it more and more. Let's go ahead and plug one in, and we're going to take a look at the interface real quick. Of course, there are going to be links down below to the the Blue Jay configurator, as well as the GitHub page. Also, if you're testing, make sure you give feedback. That's how we make things better, is we try, we see what we do and don't like, and then we provide some feedback for those that are doing the implementation. Let me grab a flight controller here and we'll take a look at the interface. So pretty typical interface that you'll see for just about everything anymore here. You can see I've got my little flight controller plugged in. The 5-volt regulator on this one died. That's part of my shark bite testing. But it's got, links as we'd always expect. It's also got a donation for open source stuff, of course, that can help them with testing more hardware. But let's go ahead and connect. We'll just take a quick look at the interface here. It'll be relatively familiar to you for the most part if you've done this sort of thing. I'm not going to walk through all these different things. I will tell you that if you want your tones, the little tones that play when we activate it to be louder, turn up the beep strength. Connor corrected me on that. I thought it was the beacon strength because I'd like to hear the tones. I like to know that everything's activated and ready to go. So thank you, Connor, for helping me out on that. You can also disable the startup beep melody if you don't like that sort of thing. Of course, we got break on stop. And the dithering. Dithering is new, at least new to me. So I really want to leave that as part of Quick Flash and Kevin's video. You really need to go over there and watch it. We've got other things such as demag compensation, which you should be familiar with, in this case high or low, and then you've got motor timing, typical that we see there. You've got motor temperature protection. You've got all the flashing of firmware on here, so there's not a lot that's new in the interface, but what is new is that dithering, and then you also have the ability to choose the different PWM speeds when you're doing the flashing. And you can tell up here on the top that this is beta, so beta software means things can go wrong when you're flashing it. Please take off your props. I have only got a flight controller out here, so there's no risk to me chopping up my fingers. No motors, no props on this one. But when you do it on yours, please take off your props. You want to stay safe. Those fingers are very important to being able to fly. Let's go ahead and flash this one just so I can show it to you. It's already detected my version. That's something you got to be careful with. The ESC type, the FH40, that's on the Crazy Bee F4 version 3. This is where you select your PWM frequency. We've got 24, 48, and 96. You can choose any of those that you like, and then you click flash. I've already done it on here, and then it goes back to, well, I'll just do it. It goes back here. It goes through the bars that you would typically see on flashing software, and once it gets through all of that, then you're done. Let's go over here and take a look at the GitHub page. Minimize that out of the way. So I think it's Matthias. He is the primary developer that has brought some life back to BLHeli-S. Along with, we have Joe Lucid for JESC and Jazz Maverick. I forget the developer, my apologies. I can't keep everything on my mind, and I don't take very good notes on some things. So I appreciate all those people that are doing this extra work for free. Of course, JESC has a licensing fee if you choose to go the licensing route. But the current features, as I've kind of already gone over them, has the digital signal protocol, 150, 300, and 600 on D-Shot. You have bidirectional RPM telemetry, the PWM frequency that we can select, and the dithering, the 11-bit effective throttle resolution. Now, now that we're a few minutes deep into the video, you're probably wondering why I should do this. Well, it's really that tinkering aspect. If in your heart of hearts, if you like to just try new things, which I do, that's why one of the many reasons that promoted me to use this is you might want to give this a shot, see what you find. I've seen all sorts of reports on Facebook on it going very well, and the results being very good as well. It's a new firmware. It's available to you. You can choose to use it. You can choose it not. Remember my warning. If you only got one working quad, leave it alone and leave it working. Of course, if you got two or more, you probably got a whole fleet. Maybe some of them are broken. I have reports in the last video where, because the winter has been so nasty, that people have the highest number of working quads they've had for many winters. And that's awesome, but unfortunately we don't get to fly them nearly as much. But I wanted to bring this up. Down in the video description, there'll be a link to Quick Flash's video on this, as well as to the GitHub page that you can read through the notes, as well as the configurator page so you can download the application. And you can test it at your heart's desire and provide feedback. It can be very valuable. And if you've already used it, leave your experience down in the comments section below. If you have any other comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise, please let me know in the comments section below. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. And I'm all pyro droned out tonight. Pyro drone shirt. You did notice a hat. I love this hat. It's a snapback. I'll get that in shot. Snapback, and it says Pyro Drone across the back. I love snapbacks. I need to get one of these in, I think they call it a trucker style or the mesh style so that your head can breathe for in the summertime. But I love the hat. It's a good looking hat. Also, it's not a freebie. I bought them. The packers for Pyro Drone could tell you so. And I also bought some Apex racing motors here. See if I can get those. Of course, I bought these because, well, I'm going to build, I can't get that to focus. Get my face out of the way, maybe. Hopefully you can see that. They're kind of a chrome or titanium and blue. These are 1303.5s. And I was just kind of a sucker. So I bought a set of 4 of those because I know that I'll use them. And hopefully when the weather gets warm, I can make myself another ultralighter toothpick. Okay, that's all I got for sure now.